Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into compelling stories filled with unexpected twists and emotional journeys. Today's story is one you won't want to miss. So, if you enjoy gripping narratives, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more. Today's story is about Eva, whose affair unintentionally transforms her devoted husband, Sebastian, into someone unrecognizable, like a robot. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and the haunting consequences of broken trust. We begin with Eva Mueller, a marketing executive who has always been known for her creativity and ambitious spirit. Despite her successful career, her marriage to Sebastian, a diligent software engineer, has lost its spark. Eva feels stuck in a routine where every day feels like a repeat of the last. Sebastian, once attentive and loving, has become increasingly focused on his work, leaving Eva craving the connection and passion they once shared. This story explores how a seemingly innocent pursuit for happiness can spiral into a series of events that nobody could have predicted. As Eva seeks excitement outside her marriage, she's unaware that Sebastian is noticing the changes and making his own plans to deal with his pain. This narrative is packed with unexpected twists that will leave you questioning how far people will go to cope with heartbreak. Eva's actions are a reminder that betrayal doesn't just break hearts. It can fundamentally change the people we love, turning them into someone unrecognizable. Stick around to see how Eva's decisions come back to haunt her, as the story unfolds into an emotional roller coaster of suspense, regret, and heartbreak. And now, let's dive into the first chapter of our story. Remember to comment below with your thoughts as the plot unravels. And don't forget to like and share if this story resonates with you. Eva Mueller and Sebastian Mueller seemed like the perfect couple on the outside. They had it all: a comfortable home in Munich, successful careers, and years of shared memories. However, beneath the surface, their marriage had started to crumble. Eva, once madly in love with Sebastian, now feels increasingly disconnected. Sebastian's job as a software engineer demands long hours and leaves him exhausted, often returning home late at night. Eva begins to feel invisible, like a mere background figure in Sebastian's life. Their conversations become short and devoid of passion, mostly revolving around household chores and bills. Eva desperately craves the days when they would laugh together, plan spontaneous getaways, and stay up talking until dawn. But now, Sebastian is always preoccupied, hunched over his laptop, barely noticing her presence. The loneliness grows unbearable for Eva, who starts to question if this is all there is to their marriage. During this period of vulnerability, Eva attends a business conference in Rome. It's there that she meets Luca Moretti, a charismatic photographer with a zest for life. He's everything Sebastian used to be: attentive, playful, and spontaneous. The instant connection between them makes Eva feel alive for the first time in years. Despite her initial guilt, Eva convinces herself that she deserves to be happy. Sebastian's neglect has pushed her into the arms of another man. Little does she know, Sebastian is more aware of her changing behavior than he lets on. He sees the late nights, the constant phone calls, and the secretive texts. But instead of confronting her, he chooses a path that will change everything. As Eva embarks on an affair that she believes will bring her happiness, she has no idea that Sebastian is slowly transforming in response to her betrayal. Eva's affair with Luca starts off innocently enough. It begins with casual coffee dates during work breaks and late-night texts that feel thrillingly forbidden. Luca, with his charming smile and passionate outlook on life, makes her feel like the center of the universe. Unlike Sebastian, who's constantly glued to his computer, Luca listens intently to her every word, makes her laugh, and reminds her of the joy she's been missing. The affair quickly escalates. What began as friendly chats turns into secret weekend getaways under the pretense of work trips. Ava feels a rush she hasn't experienced in years, the adrenaline of sneaking around, the stolen kisses, the whispered conversations late at night. She's convinced that she deserves this newfound happiness after feeling neglected for so long in her marriage. Back home, Sebastian is noticing the signs. He sees Eva's glowing complexion, the way she hums to herself while cooking, and how she's constantly glued to her phone. While Eva believes she's hiding the affair well, Sebastian's sharp eyes catch every change. However, instead of confronting her, he silently observes. Sebastian's approach is methodical. As a software engineer, he's used to analyzing patterns and solving problems. Rather than expressing his pain, he begins channeling his energy into a secret project. The more he dives into his work, the less he feels. Ava mistakes his increasing distance as a sign that he no longer cares, which only pushes her further into Luca's arms. What Ava doesn't realize is that Sebastian's growing detachment isn't a sign of ignorance. It's a sign that he's preparing to emotionally cut himself off completely. As Ava loses herself in her affair, Sebastian is transforming into someone she no longer recognizes. Ava returns home after a romantic weekend with Luca to find Sebastian waiting for her in the dimly lit living room. His face is expressionless, his eyes cold and distant. She braces herself for a confrontation, expecting anger or accusations. But instead, Sebastian simply greets her with an emotionless, "Welcome home." The lack of reaction unnerves her more than any shouting match would have. As the days go by, Sebastian's demeanor shifts drastically. He becomes eerily calm, almost robotic in the way he interacts with her. His responses are flat, devoid of emotion, as if he's speaking on autopilot. Eva is confused and frightened. This is not the Sebastian she once knew. Gone are the passionate arguments and affectionate gestures. He moves through the house like a ghost, attending only to his work and ignoring her entirely. The shocking twist is revealed. Sebastian had discovered Eva's affair weeks ago. Instead of confronting her, he decided to develop an AI software to suppress his emotions, transforming himself into an emotionless robot. The software he created allows him to block out feelings like pain, love, and anger, turning him into a cold, efficient version of himself. Sebastian's transformation is his way of coping with Eva's betrayal. He's not willing to suffer anymore. For him, it's either become numb or continue to hurt. But Ava, realizing the extent of what she's done, is left desperate to fix their relationship. She tries everything, cooking his favorite meals, initiating conversations, even apologizing for the affair. Yet, Sebastian remains indifferent, as if she no longer exists. Ava's worst nightmare comes true. She wanted Sebastian's attention, but instead, she's lost him entirely. Ava is devastated. The man she once knew, who loved her deeply, is now a cold shell of his former self. Every attempt she makes to reach out to Sebastian is met with indifference. He responds to her only when necessary, using monotone words devoid of any emotion. His robotic nature makes it impossible for her to connect with him, and she starts to realize the true depth of the damage her affair has caused. Sebastian's transformation hits Eva like a sledgehammer. She finally ends things with Luca, but it's far too late. The excitement and thrill she found with him pale in comparison to the overwhelming loneliness she now feels at home. She tries to convince Sebastian to go to therapy, to work on their marriage. But he simply says, "I don't feel anything anymore, Eva. There's nothing to fix." Sebastian's coldness isn't an act. It's a permanent change. He's decided that the only way to protect himself from ever being hurt again is to completely shut down his emotions. Eva's betrayal taught him that vulnerability is a weakness, and he has no intention of letting his guard down again. Instead of rebuilding their marriage, Sebastian chooses to focus on his career and his AI project, which he believes will revolutionize the tech world. Eva is left with a husband who's physically present but emotionally absent. The home they once shared feels like a prison filled with silence. She's haunted by the sound of Sebastian's robotic voice echoing through their once vibrant house, a constant reminder of her betrayal. She's now trapped in the very situation she tried to escape from. Loneliness. But this time, it's her own doing. Eva realizes that her affair didn't just cost her a husband. It destroyed the only person who ever truly loved her. Just when Eva is about to lose hope entirely, she finds a letter on her pillow one morning. The sight of Sebastian's handwriting makes her heart race. For a brief moment, she believes that perhaps he's found it in his heart to forgive her. With trembling hands, she unfolds the letter, only to discover that it is Sebastian's final message to her before leaving for good. In the letter, Sebastian explains the depth of his pain upon discovering her affair. He recounts how he couldn't bear the thought of losing himself to the agony of betrayal, which is why he decided to rewire his emotions through his AI project. He thanks her for inadvertently inspiring him to create something revolutionary, an AI tool capable of suppressing human emotions. In a bitterly ironic twist, he writes that Eva's betrayal has led him to the greatest breakthrough of his career. The letter ends with a cold yet final statement. "I have no hate left for you, Eva. In fact, I have nothing left for you at all. Thank you for setting me free." As Eva finishes reading, tears stream down her face. Sebastian has truly become someone else, a man who no longer feels the warmth of love, the sting of betrayal, or even the relief of forgiveness. He's left behind a wife who is now drowning in regret, realizing she has lost everything that truly mattered. Sebastian's departure leaves Eva utterly broken. She once thought she could have both freedom and passion without consequences, but in the end, her affair didn't just break her marriage. It turned the love of her life into an emotionless stranger. The story concludes with Eva standing alone in the empty house that once echoed with laughter and love. She looks around at the remnants of her former life, haunted by the choices she made. The irony of it all crushes her. The very freedom she sought has now trapped her in a prison of her own making. Sebastian is gone, both physically and emotionally, leaving Eva with nothing but memories and regrets. She lost the one person who truly cared for her, and all that remains is a hollow silence. Eva tries to move on, but every day is a reminder of how she turned the man she loved into an unfeeling robot. Final message for the audience. Sometimes, when we hurt those who love us the most, we end up losing more than we ever imagined. Betrayal doesn't just break hearts. It can shatter lives and turn love into something cold and lifeless. With the story coming to an emotional end, remind the viewers, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel for more engaging tales. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you.